Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I made no upload yesterday just because I wasn't exactly feeling great and I needed to get a little extra rest before work. So my apologies for that, and I hope you can understand. And today we're doing classic soundtracks, so no 3 in a rows this time. Alright, so what are we focusing on today? And aside from the idea that I can finally purchase and just play the Shadow of the Erdtree soundtrack. So, a lot of the Earth Elemental spells that I really wanted to make a video about, I've kind of already made a video about, with a couple of notable exceptions, like Prickly Ballet, Earthquake Axe. Those are both mentioned in the Signature Arcana series, same with Rock and Roll, Obsidian Cascade. But some of the ones that I really like have not yet been spoken about, like Stalwart Defenders, Aegis Charge, which could be pronounced Aegis depending on whether you're using the old Greek pronunciation of the AE signifier. I really like Knockout Boulder. Like there's and Spiral Rumblers and Dragon Dive. Like it's no real secret that Earth has some just straight up slappers. Just really good, powerful spells. But I mean, it's also got Grasping Earth, so it's not all victories for the Earth element. So, since I actually have a number of spells I wouldn't mind doing a video about, how do I make that decision? Like, I could just roll a die, but I think it would be best if I were to reach into that area of my brain called logic, and think about this, because I've spoken about Stalwart Defenders on countless occasions before. And if you really want to go over the few hundred Wizard of Legend videos that I've made, you could probably actually drum up the real number, but I know you're not going to, and I don't want to either, so yeah. I've spoken about Aegis Charge before, and I love that spell. I'm just not sure that's what I want to do a video on right now. Spiral Rumblers and Dragon Dive are the two spells I've probably spoken about the least. But there's spells where, well, at least Dragon Dive is a spell where you can see the strength of it like the moment you go to use it. But is that what I want to go with? Because there's also Spiral Rumblers, which, when it first came out, I didn't much care for the spell, but after reevaluating it and really giving it some time in the oven, I find myself really liking this spell. The honest answer is there is no wrong answer for this particular spotlight. You're probably all expecting me to default to Stalwart Defenders just because I have such a love for the Chess Knights. But I think I'm going to backtrack on that a little bit. As much as I love that spell, I think we're going to talk about the newest spell, Spiral Rumblers. It's just a little bit of drilling and we can really make this pop. And I showed this to you before. This is just, like, every element has kind of like a shotgun option. This is the only one where it doesn't necessarily pay to, well, no, there's also Spark Array, but yeah, this is one of the ones where it doesn't pay to use it super up close, unlike some of the others, where you can get that extra damage by shotgunning all of the different projectiles in an enemy's face. This one doesn't care about that. Instead, it's almost better to use this one at mid to long range, just to keep things under control on the battlefield. So this is not something that you use for high damage. This is something that you use for control and for combos. Now, because of that, I feel like we don't necessarily need a a super powerful defensive option like Thunderline, we can afford to use something a bit more aggressive. Like what happens if I use Wind Salvo? Again, seems like a pretty good combative option, especially seeing as the 5-second cooldown is typically over before you know it. Except for it's not a 5-second cooldown because I forgot that I had the Roxel's Pendulum on, so what if we take that off? Spell actually has a 5.5-second cooldown. Ooh. Alright, cool. I now understand. We'll pick another starting relic in a minute, but what do we use to complement the Spiral Rumblers? Since the whole point of this is to keep enemies at bay, while we set up something a little bit bigger, the obvious option would be to use something like Aqua Breaker. But I think something definitely like mid to long range is probably the best idea. But it's not the only thing that we can possibly pick. Like, I think Blazing Lariat is a perfectly fine option. So you set, and then you get in there with the, yeah. See what I'm talking about? That should work just fine. As far as our basic, sometimes when there's no necessarily right or wrong answer for your basic, what you want to pick is something else that does a good job at keeping things at bay, or you want to pick something that's very generalized. In this case, I think Thorn Whip is going to be just fine. So, we've got the Spiral Rumblers, we've got the Thorn Whip, we've got the Salvo that I'm planning on using because I want something a bit more aggressive. Now, let's look at this. And I think about the best thing we can pick to go along with what we're doing, since the whole idea is to combo Spiral Rumblers into the other spells, is to either pick something that makes it so I can use those spells more frequently, like, again, Roxel's Pendulum, or pick something that's just very good at offering just a generalized boost, like the Analytical Monocle. I tend to think of Curse Eater's Mask because that does both critical hit and damage. You just have to have cursed relics to make it pop. So, perhaps when nothing else is looking right, we turn to the defensive relics to see if there's anything here that really pops. And honestly, Limo's Leaf is probably about the best thing we've got. Mostly because this gives us invulnerability while we're dashing. But if we're gonna go that route, then the Breezy Gray Canvas does that while also offering the ability to use your dash more frequently. Yeah, 30% chance to restore a dash charge and evade all attacks while dashing. That sounds good to me. Alright, we've got ourselves set up, and it only took 8 minutes to get it to happen. Almost 9 minutes. So thank you for bearing with me while I went into an explanation of what I'm trying to accomplish with this build. Now let's get our retro floor plan and get moving. I know what some of you are thinking. Some of you are probably thinking, oh my god, he's using Wind Salvo? Is that what we really need to be focusing on? Don't worry. I'm not going to put that much attention on Wind Salvo. But what we do have is a very aggressive build here. With the idea being that we want to use the Spiral Rumblers to keep enemies at arm's length, while using our 2 whips to really finish the job. This is almost like a medieval torturer build, just because of all the whips. There it is. And we'll just go and see what happens. Alright, cool. So Spiral Rumblers, what makes this such a good control method? I mean, the obvious thing is that you've got the lingering drills there. Now, they don't necessarily linger when you throw them out, but they linger when you hit something with them. I think that counts for a lot. Yeah, we're taking the Tattered Skull. Now I kind of feel bad for not taking the Curse Eater's Mask, but... oh well, I made my decision. So the idea is that the Spiral Rumblers will just keep enemies in a consistent state of hit stun for a little while, so that you can just sit back and relax. Maybe Mentis Imperium, but it's not important. As you can see, by keeping enemies... wow, everything sucks. The relics suck, the spells suck, just everything sucks. I don't know, maybe I'll take the Conqueror's Belt just so that rogues and archers won't be that big of a deal this run. And the thing is, the Spiral Rumblers don't even do that bad of damage. It's just their primary function is more so to continue to hold enemies back with the large amounts of hit stun that they do. Which, of course, gives you plenty of chance to set up with other things. Hey, do these guys have, like, infinite HP? What's going on here? Why are they still up? I know they weren't up by the time I finished that sentence, so... don't chastise me. I'm just a simple boy, okay? The thing that I really like about the Spiral Rumblers, which makes it such a good control method, is that it comes out in such a nice wide arc. Okay, that was stupid. I should not have dashed into the fireballs. Okay, what the hell is going on here? Like, I know I'm an idiot, but I'm not that much of an idiot. I don't think, anyway. Guys, am I a huge idiot? Like, it might be good to know that before I go off on any kind of a rant, so... you guys let me know if I'm a giant idiot. Just let me know in the comments. I mean, you do like spells like Spiral Rumblers, so maybe you are an idiot. It's not what I expected to hear, damn it. No, I'm trying to explain to you why I like Spiral Rumblers. No, I think what I'm really disappointed by is that Wind Salvo isn't quite going as far as I thought it would. Then again, I knew what I was getting into picking Wind Salvo. I knew there was a good chance that it wouldn't quite work out as well as I would like. So, if it ends up being a bigger problem than it's worth, I only have myself to blame. Alright, anything good here? A couple things I like. I think we definitely take the Ancient Fountain then. Oh look, it's Nox again. Now I really wish I had taken the Curse Eater's Mask. Oh, whips. Yes, we like whips around here. Dark Sage, that sounds very sus. You know, the only thing sus around here is you judging me for my like of whips. You ever thought that maybe I'm just a giant Castlevania fan? Now, of course, because this is a projectile, it obviously interacts with other projectiles, which can be either a good or a bad thing. You take your pick. Okay, grab that. And even though you're not necessarily using Spiral Rumblers to control space against a boss, what you are using it for is for combo setup. So again, if you are using charge spells, you have plenty of time to charge up because even the unenhanced version of the drills just lasts a good long time, just doing constant hit stun. And there we go. Ironically, if she had set the perfect storms coming at me from the other side of the room, you know, closer to her, then that would have been more of a deterrent for my combo. See how well that works? We can just go ahead and give you the token now. Oh, nice. Okay, getting tired of you. Now, obviously, the Spiral Rumblers aren't going to be super effective against things like Stone Golems that are just going to walk through your attack anyway, but it's still extra damage to them. Okay, can we knock it off now? Alright, back up here now. Have I mentioned that I'm not a big fan of Atlas's stage? Like, even on level 2, it's a huge pain in the ass with all the things I can lay poison. Thank you very much for canceling my cast, you asswipe. Oh, come on. Like, I'm aware that I'm not exactly playing perfectly, but I don't think I'm playing that badly. Or maybe I am. Also, just not getting super great relics. Like, I found a few good ones, but about it. I'm also not going to complain about having critical placebos. That is definitely a big help. Okay, so we can finally upgrade that. Which, to be fair, what it does is it just gives the same drills, like they now burst in shrapnel. So it's a nice little additional damage, but it doesn't fundamentally change what you're using the spell for. I might be able to make that work. Do I bother with... What do you do? For each movement Arcana equipped. Okay, so that's 2. That's not that big a deal. Just keep going. Okay, maybe I should have grabbed the health potion. Whatever, just take it. Oh, there's a point in your favor if you're speed running. Yeah, kill it. Ow. Alright, anything good over here? Oh, we can upgrade this now. Again, finally. So what does that do now? So it summons more arrows and they all have additional hits. Basically another way of saying, we increase the DPS. It's all well and good. Now lay out your arms. Admittedly, though, that's still a help. I did choose to run with the Wind Salvo, so anything that makes Wind Salvo better is not going to be something I turn my nose up at. Oh, I hate these stupid things. Hello, fairy adoption. Alright. I don't know how I feel about Mobius Quill. It's not bad by any means, I'm just not sure it's necessarily what this run needs to pop. Obviously, what I would like to see more than anything else is just DPS improvements. Alright, come on, Wind Salvo, I picked you for a reason. You and Breezy Great Canvas together, you were supposed to be the chosen ones! Alright, I'm not doing bad, I'm just complaining for the sake of complaining. No, really, Darksage? I couldn't have noticed. Alright, keep that shit to yourself. Owie. And almost had flawless victory there. Well, it's a good thing we got Spiral Rumbler so we can control the field a little bit better. I think it kind of goes without saying that I really like Arcana that can help you control the field. Because just having giant amounts of DPS doesn't matter if everything is, laying into you. So these control methods that I keep pointing out are definitely keys to success. Owie. Here we go, I think that's definitely a wise decision. Grab the free health. Well, no, I don't need health right now. Screw it, there's still more I can see further down here. Oh, hello. Okay, so now here's what we do. We're gonna grab this now. Go ahead and give it to you so you can bring something home to your family. Oh, whoops. I completely forgot about that. Oh well. Honestly, I don't need this. Hold on. If I don't need it, I might as well sell it, right? And yes, I know it would be easy to trigger it against the twins, but is it really that important? Like, we're getting to the point in the game where money kind of doesn't matter very much. Hey there, anything good for me? Kind of. And you're just giving me another control method, essentially. Like, even Fractal Flare would be just that, just another control method. But Fractal Flare also comes back quickly, so why not? Feeling nice and strong now. We just need that Fractal Flare upgrade. A Dark Sage Toxic Bolas would have done more damage to the twins! Yes, I'm aware of that, but I already have 2 Earth-based Arcana, so I would rather take something that has a little bit more of an effect in an area. And yes, I know the Toxic Bolas can pierce when they're upgraded, so it probably was the smarter option, but no, I just wanted to use Fractal Flare, okay? Not everything has to be about min-maxing perfection. You know, a lesson that perhaps I'm not reinforcing when I'm going into my tier list videos, and like every minor fraction of a point of damage matters when you're trying to put things into a tier. I'm just saying, it's not always about perfection. Sometimes you just gotta go with what feels right. Okay, that was just a nightmare. Okay, this room is making me upset now. Hey, do you ever die? It's the second time I've been caught complaining about how much health an enemy has. Every time I do, I think to myself, good lord, am I really this impatient? But then I look at runs like the one I had the other day where I look at things and they perish, and it's like, okay, well maybe there's a reason why I'm so impatient. I also think I want to get rid of this. Pick up that. I don't want any of these. perfect. Okay, well, at least we got that. Alright, it's not been my most graceful performance on this floor, but maybe we can make things work a little bit better. Turtle shell. No thanks. My damage is already not great. I have, what, one thing that's actually boosting my damage? So no, let's not take a further penalty to damage. Let's complain about the 476 damage we took getting through that floor, and let's move on. Jesus, nothing but complaints. Yeah, next thing you know, he's going to be complaining about how much he spent on doing his vehicle registration. Yeah, that's another thing. Vehicle registration costs. Jesus Christ. And there we go. Alright, so it's been a bit of a sloppy run, I will definitely admit that. But it would be even worse if I didn't have a good control method to help stagger enemies out of their crap. Admittedly, most of the times that I was having trouble was when my drills were getting countered by enemy projectiles. Also, anytime one of my spells gets essentially knocked out from casting, I die a little bit inside. Okay, I need to get rid of these fuckers. Okay. That was seriously, the game just decided not to let me use my basic. Alright, that fight was ultra sloppy. It's making me feel a little nervous about what's coming up. So here's hoping I don't completely lose my cool here. Come on, I gotta go to work after this. I don't want to be in a bad mood because Wizard of Legends schooled me. Ah, that stank. So did that. Seriously, an attack literally made to hit the broadside of a barn, and I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Oh my goodness, like, this is one of the worst Sura fights I've had in a while. Like, I can't tell if this is the fault of the run, or if I'm just playing really poorly. Hey, we did it though, we run, we run so far away. But no, Spiral Rumblers is not as bad as I made it out to be. It's a really good control spell that does a great job in a huge, wide area. It keeps enemies stunned, it makes it easy for you to do combos, like, it does more than, you know, completely miss when you're trying to hit something in, like, one big square country mile, and then still manage to miss. And I will never let myself live that down. It's one of the most embarrassing ways to miss an enemy, is with a giant area of effect that somehow sails just off to their left. It's ridiculous. I'm telling you. But that is all for today. Thank you guys very much for coming and spending some of your free time here with me today. Give Spiral Rumblers a try. If you're having a hard time keeping the crowds under control, definitely a good way to do that. Like, I would argue that Breaking Twister is probably better, but we're not here to continue to glaze Breaking Twister. So, like I said, Spiral Rumblers, give it a try. I kind of like all of these kind of shotgun-style Arcana, and this one is definitely amongst them, and definitely a good choice. You just have to take your mind out of the DPS idea and put it into the I need to control the field idea. That's about it. That's all I really got. So again, thank you guys very much. I hope you're having a beautiful rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next one. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and you take care, everybody.